Union Minister of State, Mr. V. Muraleedharan, now joins us on the broadcast. Mr. Muraleedharan, good morning. Thank you for speaking to us on Republic TV. Mr. Muraleedharan, now the Pinarayi Vijayan government essentially says that this SilverLine project is going to be good for the people of Kerala. What do you think about it?
See, a project that will displace around 30,000 families, a project which is unscientifically planned, a project that will be an ecological disaster. How can it be good for the state of Kerala? It's not going to help Kerala in any way. That is the view of those experts in the field of railways, as well as those who are on the ground working with the people.
So what are you then saying, that the Chief Minister of Kerala is trying to mislead the people of Kerala when he says that I believe this project is going to be good in terms of connectivity and also giving employment?
Of course. See, the government of Kerala says that they want to have a high-speed railway corridor. The government of India, the railways, already are in the plan of the plan of executing high-speed trains across the country. Kerala has not been able to make the arrangements for having such high-speed trains. But now the state government says that we want to acquire land. But the alignment is not yet ready. It has not got the approval from the railways. But in spite of that, they are going ahead with the social impact assessment. And in the name of social impact assessment, they are putting yellow stones, survey stones, across the state.
Right, absolutely. Now
into the, over the, Hello.
Mr. Muraleedharan, you were saying something. I think we've got a poor connection with you. If you could just repeat, you were talking about how, the government, despite clearances not being received from the centre, is going ahead.
Yes, the government of Kerala says that we have submitted the DPR. The Railway Ministry says
All right, unfortunately, that's a very poor connection that we have with the minister. But here's what the minister has said so far. He says that the government in Kerala is trying to mislead the people, and this SilverLine project, which has, of course, seen numerous protests in the state of Kerala, is something that will not be good for an ecologically sensitive state like Kerala. Do remember that Kerala, by its very location, is a thin state. It does have to deal with a lot of ecological problems, given specifically the fact that we have seen so many floods over the past few years in Kerala. I think we've got Mr. Muraleedharan back. Mr. Muraleedharan, I apologize. That was an extremely poor connection we had with you. But please continue. You were telling us about how this is going to be bad for Kerala's ecology.
yes, of course. Because the social impact assessment, the ecological studies, nothing has happened. They have not done an environmental study of the area through which the alignment or the SilverLine will go through. Even Mr. E. Sridharan, the metro man, he the other day was mentioning that the regular line which the railways had laid years ago, it took almost 20 years to stabilize. Till then it was, every year it was going down. So how can a high-speed railway line withstand the pressure of trains running at high speed, and that soil will not be, it is a very fragile soil. That soil will not be able to withstand that. And nowhere in the world the high-speed trains are there in either through underground or through pillars. Here it is being laid on the ground, which is unheard of. So that is why I said that unscientifically planned, with ulterior motives. That is why the people of the state are against such a project.
Right, now Pinarayi Vijayan of course says that he is looking at already acquiring the land despite clearances not being in place. He says, I'm going to pay people 4 times the price that prevails in this. Now, what do you think of that?
See, he says that I will pay 4 times. Nobody believes him because the government is in such a big debt. They are unable to pay the pension for the transport employees. Kerala State Road Transport Corporation is in such a bad situation. They are unable to pay the salaries. They are unable to pay the pensions. So where are they going to bring this money? They will have to take debt from abroad, for which the government of India will have to be a guarantor. Government of India has said that we can't be a guarantor because this project is unviable, unscientific, not financially viable. So how they will get the money to pay 4 times? And I will also would like to tell you that the people of Kerala, they don't believe such announcements of the government. Many such announcements had been made earlier also. So it didn't come into implementation stage.
Right, Mr. Muraleedharan, thank you very much for joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Muraleedharan over there saying that this project isn't good for the ecology of Kerala and the government will have to borrow heavily if it were to pay 4 times the land rates that are currently in place. Back to you, Crispino, in the studios.